Hey you, welcome back. Chapter 27 of the Blind Playthrough. Can you believe that? 27th chapter for us. How incredible. Last episode, we got this new sword. Pretty cool. So I figured why not play around with it for a little bit while we do a couple of little side adventures, I guess we could call it, before heading to Krat Central Station. Still can't use this thing, wondering what that's going to be about. So we came out here to the Path of the Pilgrim because we got a cipher device that Vanini decoded for us that said that there's basically kind of explained a little bit about how we can maybe get to this area of the Pilgrim, the slum village, and maybe get some loot. So basically it's straight across there. You can kind of see a red glow in the distance. That is a ladder shortcut that we have to send down. And it said something about, let me pull up the description if I can. It said something about a tree. And here we go, cryptic vessel. An old shack in the Tomb slums in Malum district. Look for the bleak tree and laundry line and enter the shack next to them. So that's what we're looking for, a tree and a laundry line, and we're going to enter the shack next to them. And then it says, kept hiding stolen goods in the barren swamp and realized something that they're never going to return if they keep going to the swamp. So basically seems like they started stashing things in this little house. So that's where we're heading right now. So we'll mosey on over. Hey, I want to try out this. Okay, so not quite, but it might be that we could use that as like a perfect guard. Like if somebody was going to attack us and we timed that properly, I wonder if that would be like a perfect guard mechanic. Or if it's just meant to look cool. So I'm pretty sure this is the bleak tree and this is the laundry line. So this would be the shack. But we've never really been able to get inside of that shack. So I'm wondering, is there something that we've been missing? Can I somehow get up there? Here's the ladder I was speaking about. Oh! What the heck? When did this person get there? Oh!
Those guys blabber about loyalty, but when they know what's inside,
I'm sorry. Oh, he's got... Oh!
Getting involved sounds like trouble to me. You can find the stolen goods on your own.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to... Panicked a little bit, gamers. I panicked a little bit for sure. So we missed a little bit about what he was saying, but he gave us a key to get inside there. I thought that the enemy was going to be able to just beat the crap out of us when we were stuck in that dialogue, but it seems like you have some sort of like immunity when you're talking to another character. So we use the robber's shack key. Let's oh! Haha. Amazing. It doesn't. You're right, dude. It does never get old. I love falling into traps in this game because they made it fun, and that's awesome. You know, the number of times that we've fallen into a trap, gamers, just the floor has just kicked out from under us. It's always a good time. Get your heart rate going a little bit, having some fun with our playthrough. I appreciate it. Alright, so now we're up here, and so that's... Gotcha. So now we can kick down the ladder. That makes sense. Okay, so that's what this whole little section has been about. And now, of course, that guy's gone. And then we can come in here and carefully open up this chest and see what's inside. What do we got? We've got a life amulet +1 and a legion caliper. So wait a second, we're doing +1 items now. So increases our max health. It weighs more, but Okay, so let's take a look here. I'm gonna keep this blue guardianship amulet equipped because I think that it gives us a lot of good things. So right now we're at 586 total HP. If we did the life amulet, the standard one, we go to 626, so that's 40 hit points that we get added to our maximum. If we do the +1, we're at 659. So what did I just say before? That seems like quite a bit. 626, and that was 659. So that's another like 30 on top of it. Wow, that's pretty substantial. Altogether, I think we're getting like an extra close to 70 hit points, 73 hit points maybe. So that's pretty useful. We might consider using that. Maybe not always, but it might be something that we switch over to from time to time. Especially if we have like a boss fight that's particularly challenging, that might be useful. Alright, so well worth our time coming to visit here. I think in the interest of time, let's just teleport to the Stargazer. The next thing that we're going to do is go talk to that rookie explorer Hugo, and he's at the Barren Swamp. So we'll do that real quick, and then we're going to go check out where basically the room after the boss that we just took out, the green monster boss, and then we'll go from there. So here it's saying, oh, it's even telling us to go talk to him, so that's cool. You know, when I first started this playthrough, one of the things that I did was I made title cards, like thumbnail images for videos, and I had gone up to 26, thinking that like certainly 26 would be enough chapters for this entire playthrough, and boy, I was mistaken, because we're already at 27 and we've got seemingly quite a ways to go. We've got to go to Krat Central Station. There's also this place that's been talked about briefly called the Rose Estate, and I don't know if we're going to end up going there. We have excuse me.
Life is short, and life in Krat is shorter. All I can do is keep plugging away.
We have a little bit of an excursion going down into the belly of the hotel coming up, and it seems like we also have to go out to the Island of Alchemists. So like quite a bit to go.
You actually met Alidoro and asked him about the wanted poster. That's odd. Alidoro and Medoro are friends.
Haha.
When I was hurt, he took me to Medoro, who was one of the first on the scene. Medoro was quite the medic. He saved me when the workshop tower fell. There's gotta be a logical explanation. The Alidoro I admire would never talk about a friend like that.
We knew that.
But who knows, maybe that wanted poster is real. You keep an eye on him if you see him again.
Yeah. See, now we're getting some bad vibes. For a while, we were liking the fact that it seemed like we could trust Alidoro and that he wasn't going to be an issue. But now he told us that Medoro was trying to slander his reputation, basically. And we had already known from reading some of the like lore information that we've picked up that Medoro was basically like let go from the like writing the journals and stuff like that he had been doing for Krat. They basically like said like you're not allowed to do this anymore, and from last I remember it was like he was almost like missing, like they didn't know where he had gone. So for him to say that it was Medoro who wrote this wanted poster up was concerning at the very least. So let's check out in here. It might be that we have might be that we've got a little bit of a ways to go in this regard. We might not even get to Krat Central Station this chapter. We'll see. Okay, so got something up there. So we'll figure out how we can get there. Yeah, so then since I made all these title card thumbnails for 26 chapters, and I was like, oh, I gotta make more because we're going to be starting on chapter 27, so went and did that, and I'm not sure how many chapters we're going to have. Pretty cool. If you're here right now, you've been watching through the playthrough. This weapon's really pretty cool. It's fast. Whoops. Yeah, it's fast. It's got a cool moveset. I haven't even messed with the Fable arts there, but I did kind of show those briefly in the last chapter. I tried to show the Fable arts. I was probably in a like a scuffed section, so I don't know if I was like commenting on them live or if I just kind of had some audio ported over it. Oh, one of these big guys. This is perfect. Let's go. Nice. Yeah, this is a super cool weapon. It's a little bit all over the place, but I think if we could get the hang of it, it could be a lot of fun. Oops. Nice. There we are. There we are. Boom. Boom, gamers. Pretty cool. We'll keep playing with this for a little bit, but I'll probably end up switching over to our good old handy-dandy Booster Glaive blade. Okay. Oh! Hey, hey. It is! It is! Holy cow, gamers! Oh, amazing! Did you just see that? So if you time this perfectly, you can block and then automatically counter with the attack. Otherwise, the way that it works is you do this flurry and you're holding here, and then you press the R2 button again and you do your attack. That was incredible. What a cool weapon. How awesome. That was just great. So where in the heck are we heading? This almost gives me vibes of Vanini Works. But we'll see. Okay, so we can go that way, seemingly, and then we can go this way. Oh. Okay. Oh. Is this... Maybe this is taking us to Krat Central Station somehow. Please don't jump out at me. Nothing jump out at us. Okay. I think what we're going to do before we head that way, where the train car is, which is giving me vibes like it is going to be Krat Central Station somehow. We're going to head this direction. Just to make sure that there isn't anything useful here. Oh, perfect. So this is the item that we saw earlier when we came through. Okay, let's check this out. A worn-out journal with bloodstains, golden wings are drawn on the cover. I do not regret destroying the Saintess statue. I had to stop it from being used for humans. Of course, they'll find another way, but at least those who escaped will find freedom. If I have any regrets, it's just one. God save that child. I came from across the wide ocean. Interesting. So, the golden wings is something that's also been kind of associated with Alidoro. And so I'm not sure what to make of that little journal there. So we'll see what's ahead. Oh, want to run through this. And something is causing these earthquakes. It is Krat Central Station, and it has been infested with some monsters. So, that's interesting, because I thought we were just going to go, like, back to the station from where we had been. 1223 train ticket. I don't know what's up with my... I'm stumbling over my words. I just said train ticket. Earlier I said regrets. 1223 train ticket to St. Marion. The text is hard to read because of the bloodstains, and that's it. That's what we got. See, so that's why some of these I've just been kind of picking up and not reading, but some of the more interesting looking ones, like the ones that look like they're like books or that they've got a little bit more substance to them, we've been trying to take a look at, and we've been learning quite a bit from a lore standpoint, which is great. All right, so yeah, I definitely thought that we were just going.
An ergo amplification effect.
Oh, okay.
Coming from Krat Central Station.
I was like, who's talking to us?
I wonder if the alchemists are plotting something again.
So
Please investigate that area.
you got it, Sophia. So that's another thing, is that like Sophia can talk to us when we're out and about, but it hasn't happened very often. It happened towards the beginning of the game quite a bit more, but recently it hasn't been happening as much, and so even to the point where it's like, who the heck is that talking to us right now? You know what? I'm digging the weapon. Let's stick with this for a little bit longer. So we're gonna have a shortcut door there. We want to get away from those guys because when they die, they do that. Gruesome. But yeah, so I'm wondering what the heck's going on here. Oh, just a whole pit of decay there. And so it's probably... Oops. So in, I want to say it was chapter 21 for us. One of the things that we did, it was at the arcade, Lorenzini Arcade. Okay, and so this is another door that will open up. Okay, so we got two shortcut doors there. We've got here that we could drop down to, which will seemingly open up into kind of this area over here. And then we've got this ladder that we can take. And so one of the things that I noticed about this section here, yeah, you see this thing here? So if I can just toss a wheel at it, it'll pop, and then there goes that whole decay cloud. But the thing is that that thing will regenerate. So it's not like it's constantly out of the picture. We'll see if we can, I don't want to stand here and wait too long, but pretty sure that that thing's going to come back in like another 20 or 30 seconds or so, which means that the cloud will come back as well. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was just in the section that we were in before. Looking like a fool, Coobs. All right. Oh, nope. There we are. There we are. So see, so it does come back. But it did seem like a decent amount of time for us to kind of get down there and grab those items. Part of me is wondering if we want to do that first and then explore by dropping down over on this side. You know, couldn't hurt, certainly. All right. Oops. So we would rather have our grindstone set to, yikes. We'd rather have our grindstone set to flame. And we're running out of our items that we use to purify the decay. Yikes. Yeah. Missed the window. Decay not only affects our HP, but it also affects our weapon durability. I'm gonna go ahead and use one of these just so that we don't die in this section. That'll kind of help combat the decay a little bit. Whew, close one. Alright, so we know what we're doing with some of our ergo, that's for sure. We're gonna head back and we're gonna pick up some of those ampoules, some of these purification ampoules, so that we can deal with any of the decay that's happening. And then we're also going to switch our grindstone over to the flame grindstone. So let's go to the hotel real quick, because I'm pretty sure Polendina sells those. There was just a little indicator on our menu there, so maybe we can go back and talk to that rookie explorer Hugo again. Also, we're gonna see if Alidoro's here, because there's a chance that he's not. And so part of me has been wondering if
a great weapon calls for a great warrior. A great weapon.
Part of me has been wondering if I want to pick up some of these items now, before it's seemingly too late. We can't get this item, but like picking up something like this, the Arm of God amulet, or this one, the Nameless One's amulet, like these have really interesting effects. I'm having two thoughts when it comes to this sort of inventory here. We either pick up all of the weapons, or we pick up all of the amulets, because we want to spend these regardless before our playthrough is over. I don't necessarily know that there's a new game plus, but I'm kind of imagining that there will be. And so, like, on our first playthrough, we do one of the items, and then on our second playthrough, we'll be able to do whichever one we didn't get. And these are all, I've mentioned this before, but these are all really heavy items. So even though they're really cool amulets, like increase the weapon attack in proportion to number of Fable slots. So the more Fable slots that you have, the better damage that you do. Like, that's incredibly useful. But it weighs 12 units. So from that perspective, it's like, would we ever actually use that? And again, some of these weapons are pretty heavy. Like this one's 31 pounds, this one's 21 pounds, or units, I should say. We don't know that they're pounds that they're working with. But they're seemingly pretty cool. So that's kind of where my head's been at recently when thinking about this. I don't want to spend too much time here. So I think I'm going to pick up this one, which is the burnt white Burnt White King's Ergo. So I wouldn't be able to get this weapon if I did that. But I think that I want to pick this one up because this one could be usable just to kind of test out our Legion Arm abilities, because it's going to give us one ability tier in all of our Legion Arms. So if we wanted to kind of test something without investing in it, we would be able to see how useful this is. And also, when we think about our Legion Arm, it takes 3 calipers in order to get the 3rd upgrade or the 3rd ability tier. And so getting that for free by using this amulet would save us a bunch of calipers and also save us from having to do some respecking. But I think that what I'm going to do is just pick up all of these weapons. And then that way we've got them. If we ever want to check them out and use them, we can. We can level them up. But then at the very least, if something happens where Alidoro turns against us, or we end up having to take him out for some reason because he's plotting against us, then we can still... We didn't waste that opportunity to get those. Lady Antonia is completely cured. Well,
she is so happy. I don't even know how to
that's not
you.
exactly what Giangio said.
What a glorious feeling it is to wish for the happiness of someone you care for. Perhaps it's presumptuous for a puppet to call that feeling love. I am happy enough just to protect her as best I can. Thank you for saving her and for guiding me through this emotion.
I really have come to appreciate
No matter what fate
Polendina,
brings us, I will be at Lady Antonia's
and
side,
I like the kind
serving
of
her,
dynamic that they gave his
welcoming her.
character. I can definitely appreciate that. One of the things that I'm concerned about is that it's not actually that she's completely cured, because that's not really what Giangio said. I think we're going to pick up like 10 of these. And we've got 9 of these. That's not a big deal. Maybe let's pick up a couple of these with some of the rest of our Ergo. I'm not too worried about spending Ergo at the moment on like a level up or anything like that. We're going to get more.
People have no idea so many secrets are buried in crowd. Thanks for keeping me company.
Yeah, so Giangio said that the cure wasn't like perfect, that it would leave her probably in pain, like it would extend her life but she would be in pain, or the alternative would be to not give her the cure and to let her die peacefully. So from that perspective, it's like, well, how are we saying that she's been completely cured if that's kind of contradictory to what Giangio said he thought that was going to do for her? I don't know. We'll see. Still have feelings that decision could have some implications down the line for us, story-wise, maybe like boss-wise. Let's head back out here. It's saying that Hugo wants to speak to us about something, so we're going to do that. And then we'll head back to the Krat Central Station area. Really like that they're taking us back to that location, but on a different side of things. That's kind of cool. I think I'm going to switch over our weapon now back to our Booster Glaive Blade. And I'll probably put some of these into storage. But this is a pretty cool weapon. I'm heavy, so that's why I'm swinging it like that, I think. But that's pretty cool. I'm sure a lot of these are pretty cool weapons. And so again, oh nice, this one's like just an umbrella. That's amazing. That's super cool. I can really appreciate that. You know, from the image, it looks more like a cane, but I like that it's an umbrella. That's awesome. So I'm going to throw those into our inventory just so that they're not kind of taking up some of the space there. But like kind of what I was getting to saying just a moment ago is in a New Game Plus playthrough, I could see some of these weapons being pretty cool. And you could kind of build around them and and kind of play through a whole game using one of those special weapons. That's assuming that there is a New Game Plus mode.
In times like these, when truth and lies are blurred, the only thing to believe is your gut instinct about a person. I trust Alidoro. He wants to save people and seek out the truth. Anyhow, you gave me the first lead on Alidoro I've had in months. Take this in return. Consider it a gift suitable for times like these.
Okay. So that's cool. That was worth coming and visiting him for. The dim ergo fragments, contrary to how it sounds, actually give us 1,000. So something like resplendent ergo gives us 700, but dim... Oh, it's a dim ergo chunk. Sorry. So we should know, based on the size of it, that it being a chunk is pretty useful. And I forgot that we had a quartz to spend. So gonna run back to Hotel Krat now. Sorry for this kind of taking up some time. We could have, optimized that and done this on our last visit. But I'm going to go spend that point on our P organ because it might be, I don't think it's going to be enough for us to get another upgrade, but we'll see. I think right now we're on phase 4 of the P organ, if I'm not mistaken. And so we'll check that out and see what we can get. I think one of the things that I noticed last time we were upgrading it was there were 2 really solid upgrades in the kind of like the defensive category, the blue category. And so in order to get them both, we would have to upgrade 2 separate abilities. Okay, so here we have add amulet slots 2, and then we have increased special grindstone uses. So we could get a second use on the special grindstone, which would be pretty useful. We use that quite a bit. But I am thinking that the second amulet slot might be the first thing that we go towards. And so what I was saying here, the survival type, this blue section, there's 2 pretty solid ones here, actually 3. But I think the first one we're going to do is increase our pulse cells. But this one here says auto charge pulse when discharged. So when we're completely out of pulse cells, normally we have to deal damage in order to gain our pulse cell back. But this would just start filling that meter like passively over time, which could be really kind of help us if we're in a jam or we find ourselves in a situation where we maybe have a little bit more of an area to get through, but we're out of pulse cells and we're not really finding a whole lot of enemies to deal damage to, but we're really low on health, and so we don't want to risk it. But we do also have the amulet, the recharged amulet, which gives us HP regen. So, I mean, we got some things to work with in that regard. So maybe it's not as necessary as I'm thinking it is. Maybe it would make more sense for us to go with the one that does the improves our special resistances. Because those special resistances, there's only 3 of them. There's the shock effect, there's the break effect, and then there's disruption. Shock, basically if you're inflicted with any amount of shock, it's going to slow down your stamina recovery speed. Break, if you're inflicted with any amount of that, is going to take away from your healing. Anytime that you use a healing effect, it's going to basically like kind of nerf it. And then disruption, we found out, will completely kill us if it fills up all the way. So all of those are not great things. But yeah, we'll see. Really love that move. Really have been enjoying the puppet string recently, and really glad that we made the decision to level that up to tier 3, because it's been super useful. Like from a utility standpoint, we can separate enemies and bring them closer to us. We can do that big power attack and do some pretty solid damage, and sometimes it even staggers our enemies. So, oops, what are you doing going up there? Yeah, I think one of the things that I was kind of saying towards the beginning of this episode, I don't think if I finished my thought on it. If I did, I apologize for saying it twice, but if you're here right now on episode 27, chapter 27 of this playthrough with me, thank you so much for being here, first and foremost. Really hope that you've been enjoying this playthrough and that it's been a fun thing to be a part of, to experience. And the other thing that I wanted to say is that that's pretty crazy, because we have been putting out 2 chapters each day. So chapter 27 would mean that this is the first chapter coming out, and it's been basically 2 weeks of the playthrough having consistent chapters being uploaded. Because chapter 28 would be, you know, the chapter this evening that comes out, if that makes sense, if what I'm saying makes sense to you. This would be 2 weeks that we've been experiencing the playthrough. Now, in real time, as I'm filming this, chapter 26 was the Saturday of release week, so September 23rd, I think, and as I'm filming this section, this is September 27th. So for me, playing through the game, it hasn't been quite a week yet. But when it comes to the release schedule of these chapters, of these episodes, it'll be like 2 weeks since the playthrough began. So that's really cool. And so hopefully the pacing has been good, and that we've been feeling like we're kind of moving through the story and this experience at a decent pace. And I was considering maybe trying to do like 3 chapters a day, but it just kind of seemed like that might be a little bit excessive, like that would be a lot for somebody to try to sit down and to watch through. And since the chapters are about 45 minutes to an hour usually, that's super cool. We haven't seen this happen quite yet, but that was definitely a puppet who has, oh, we got more of them. A puppet that's been infected with these little monsters, just like that green puppet monster of the swamp, basically. There's like a monster inside using the puppet as a vessel. How stinking cool, man. They did such a great job with the enemy design in this game. Really impressed. But yeah, so back to what I was kind of talking about just a moment ago. The episodes are about 45 minutes to an hour long, so like an hour and a half to 2 hours each day of the playthrough being released. I felt like that was a pretty healthy amount. And then, of course, like once the entire playthrough is uploaded, like let's say you didn't start this chapter 1 on day 1 with us, then you'd have all the chapters at your disposal pretty much. So you can watch them at whatever pace you choose. So that's nice as well. Yikes. Yikes. Big yikes. Don't get too greedy, Coobs. Oof. Alright, so glad that we bought 10 of these, and maybe that isn't even enough. Maybe we're going to need more, depending on how much of this decay we're coming across. I don't know if that guy is one that will respawn. Part of me feels like it is. What is that? It's like a big old scorpion stinger tail. That wasn't there before, was it? Give me 1 second. I'm pretty sure that we just opened up this door, which is... Oh, we couldn't see that way before. We were seeing over here. Gotcha. Okay. Interesting. So part of me is wondering if maybe the play is to go rest at the Stargazer and then come take on this section. But we'll see. There's definitely going to be another shortcut that we can open kind of on the other side of this place. So we'll see. We'll keep pressing on. We've got some decent resources at the moment. If you decide to pull the enemy towards you, you don't get the cool jump up in the air and attack them ability for the follow through. You just kind of get more of like a punch, but it does still do some significant damage. It just doesn't quite look as cool. So you have to pull yourself towards them in order to get that. I think they're calling it like a link dodge attack or something like that. All right. I definitely want to go back that way. I don't love that we're getting caught up in the decay, but what I'm going to do is wait for this one to come back and then we'll head that direction. And maybe what we'll do is... Oops, no. There we go, we can do that. Maybe I can't even clear out the decay in this area, we'll see. But yeah, you see how quickly our weapon is deteriorating? Can you? Oh yeah, you can. It's back here. Okay. So, let's think about this. We got one more of these for decay. We got 3 pulse cells, and we definitely have a big enemy there. So I'm thinking the play might be to go revisit the Stargazer. What's this? Oh. Is that... Is this... I got questions, but I don't have answers. I'm wondering if this is where we began our journey. This platform here, and that would mean that this train on our right hand side is the train that we started in, and we worked our way up this platform and we came into this room here where this statue is. Kind of looks similar, and that's where we would have picked up our pulse cells in the very beginning of the game, but I'm not entirely certain about that. So I think the play is going to be go up, grab our resources, and then come back and take on that big scorpion looking monster. Cool area so far. Hopefully we can open up that shortcut on the other side, and then maybe that'll be a good place for us to this shortcut here, and then maybe that would be a good place for us to wrap the chapter up. I think we're close to like the 45 minute mark maybe currently. So let's see what happens if I target this with the puppet string. Oops, can I not hit that high? I can't, so you can basically just go horizontal with it. It doesn't seem like it really angles up as much as we might like it to. Yeah, getting that extra P cell is going to be pretty useful as well. So here I was wondering if the big guys respawn, and it does look like they do. So I think I'm going to just try to mosey past this guy, and we'll see if he doesn't like... Oops. Well, that's not great, but we'll see if maybe he doesn't follow us. Just in the interest of getting to this bigger guy. Yeah, that seems fine. Alright. Big scorpion boy. Let's do this. Should have seen that coming. Okay, so it doesn't seem like I can really pull myself in towards this guy like I can for some of the other ones. big hitter. Oh, I can. Oh, bad timing, but I was able to. Beautiful finish there. Sorry about the dog barking in the background there. And we've got the Murderer Puppets Amulet. Very cool. Alright, sorry about that. I'll probably try to edit some of that out, the dog barking and stuff. But yeah, here we are. We're back in... I have now perfected the greatest puppet. Now that child again. Not sure what that means. I think we're back in the area
We are... Yes, behind the train car where you woke up.
Yeah.
Wait, what is this?
Huh.
Who would put a workshop like this here, of all places? Good grief.
Letter for someone who has gone ahead. Dear Geppetto's puppet, who will come to this workshop train, I'm really thankful to you. A workshop train hidden by Geppetto, isn't that something? If not you, how would I have found this place? Unfortunately for Geppetto, I have the ability to read someone's memories. Okay. In Malum District, I had a hunch. They thought if they followed you, Geppetto's puppet, they'd find the relic he stole. And that hunch was right. The relic has been returned to our sacred place. Now that the stage is set, the doors will open. I know all this is confusing, but soon you'll learn everything. Thank you. You were a good guide. SM, which probably means Simon Manus. What? Geppetto's tools. So we can upgrade our weapons here. Wow. That's really interesting. Let's see what's in this. Another brake cartridge. Okay, so let's check that out real quick. Really great brake resistance. Terrible disruption resistance, though. And so we'll keep on the one that we've got currently. But this is pretty fascinating, this whole little area here. And like I mentioned, there might be a little bit of a... like an editing that happens there, because my dog was barking. And so I'll probably maybe cut out a little section. But yeah, pretty interesting. But yeah, so we were right initially when we said that this train was the one that we started in. So this is the starting platform, but now it's been opened up because of that big monster that was here. Pretty cool. So we're gonna go try to find our shortcut opening, hopefully, and get ourselves back to the Stargazer so that we can wrap up this chapter. And then next chapter, chapter 28, will be our continuation of Krat Central Station. So here's this. Pop open this door. Head to the Stargazer. Really interesting. So based on that note that we just read, it seems like the two Red Fox and Black Cat were basically hired to go get something from the Malum district, some sort of a relic, and that maybe was in that same area where we found the painting of the kid who looked just like us. And so that's what they were doing there. So basically we were a distraction taking on the Black Rabbit Brotherhood, and they stole whatever they needed to steal during that time. So that's interesting. Pretty cool stuff. But we'll call it a chapter there. Thank you so much for joining us. I have been and always will be Coobs. Peace and love to you, gamers.